Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm your host, Ed Troxel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm known as a tech expert, aka the Tech Man, and I love business. I'm so passionate about business and helping you grow your business online. You can find out all about me here at edtroxelcreative.com, and over there you'll find everything you need, including my email list, free to jump on, and that's where you can get weekly business tips, so be sure to do that. Also, there's a fun quiz there for you, so check it out. So if this is your first time joining, welcome. This is a weekly talk show. We actually used to go 5 days a week. We may or may not be bringing back some more days during the week. I don't know. Things are in the works. But right now we are currently doing every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on this show we talk about business, tech, and the user experience. You never know what you're really going to get until we start. Today we're going to talk about automation and why you shouldn't automate everything. Yeah, shouldn't. Because we hear a lot of the times from all of the experts, myself included, that there are things that we should be automating in our business, especially if we're a solopreneur, right? If we're the only ones running and managing our business, we need help. So we automate things, which is great sometimes because it helps alleviate stress and it helps us go through and actually get things done without having to physically be right there. However, there's always two sides to a story, right? And I am going to show you today the downside of automation and why it's important that you pay attention to your systems and the processes that you have in place. Or if you're kind of like, I don't have that in place yet, but I'm thinking about it. This is a great one, great episode for you to pay attention to. Be sure to tag your friends and share this out with your fellow business entrepreneur friends. And also, if you are new, well, even if you're seasoned, if you're watching this broadcast, even on the replay, comment. That's the biggest one. You're showing up. I need you to deliver and engage in the comments, not only with me, but with everyone else who shows up. And I get a lot of replay viewers, so be sure to say hello, even if it's just, hey, or I'm watching the replay. It's really important. Also, I got to pull this up. This is going to be good. This is also something I'm going to talk about. So during this show, I like to do a little bit of random news at the beginning, just because it's fun and there's so many crazy random things out there. And I like to make this entertaining, not just a boring, like, tech show or business show. No, it's kind of like a talk show, and I try to make it fun. So we're going to have random news in a second. I'm pulling up my business page because there's something cool I want to show you guys, and this is why I told you. This is why, for those who are new, let me just back up for a second. I get ahead of myself. So I've always been about Facebook. Like, love it or hate it. There's times where we really don't like it because it constantly is changing and all of that. But Facebook has been my go-to resource, and it's still the biggest social media platform out there, which is why I always say you should still have a business page if you are a business and you have a Facebook account. You should always have a business page, not your personal profile, not a group, but a business page. And for a while there, most people kind of skipped the page. They created it, but they let it go. And then from there, they went straight to a group. And they built the groups, and now things have changed because groups aren't necessarily going to see every single post when you post it, the algorithm and all of that. So now people are like, oh, okay, well, I'm still doing the group thing, but what about the page thing? Listen, Facebook has been increasing over time the use of business pages. They're trying to help us out. It's slow. Trust me, it's slow and steady. But it's really important for us to still have a Facebook business page presence. Like Erica from Reframe It Story Meditations. Welcome. I love seeing you in the comments. I want you guys to think about that and understand that it's so important to have a business page, not only for your business, but for people to find you, for them to tag you. Listen, if you are doing anything in your business and you have people that you're working with, which chances are most of you have a product or a service or will, you have to have a presence on Facebook, and you want to be able to have people tag your business. That's the coolest thing, because they're out there sharing your product, your service. They're telling their story of working with you, and how disappointing is that for you not to know? You don't even know what they're saying, and it's because they're not able to tag you because you don't have a business page or you're not active with it. So keep that in mind. Now, what I also wanted to share with you in random news here is a couple things about Facebook. And I was trying to pull it up on my actual Facebook page, but it doesn't look like it's showing because I'm logged in. But I'm really excited. My page now has top fans. What? Does anybody know what that means? I'll give you a second. Even if you're watching the replay, you can still comment. But I'll give you a second to sit with that. Top fans. So my business page has top fans. Why do you care? Why do you care, you the business owner watching this, why do you care about top fans? What would that mean? Here, I'm going to show you on my phone. Look at that, top fans. I know it's not as clear. So this is important because, like I've told you before, show up, deliver, and engage. That's how you're going to get noticed. You're going to have to do the work, and you need to be there to do the work. And so the reason top fans is so important is that it allows you, the business owner, to be seen as, basically, think of it as authority, an expert. Expert's kind of a strong word, but think of it as you're getting up to the next level. You're no longer just, hey, I'm just hanging out. You're, oh, hey, I'm actually engaging with this page. Hey, Bernadette, welcome. I'm glad. Drive safe. And Erica says, oh, yeah, let me comment as myself real quick to test that. I'm top fan. Yeah, so Erica's a top fan. So this is the cool thing. And right now it seems like it's only for personal profiles, so that's fine. That's okay. We're working on it. But the reason it's important for you to comment on all my broadcasts, all my posts, not only me, but everyone else, but since it's about me right now, right? If we're going to stick to that and say every time you see a post from my business page, your goal should be to at least comment. I don't care about liking and loving and all that. I mean, that stuff's great, but comment. That's the biggest thing. I always say the magic happens in the comments. And if you are already taking 2 seconds to look at my post, you should take another 2 seconds to drop a comment. It could be a GIF image, it could be a quote, it could be hi, I don't care. Just anything. Because 1, that initiates the conversation, that gets us started. 2, that allows you to build up your authority on my page so that you get noticed as what they call a top fan. And then that puts you at the top, so when people come to the page, they're like, oh, I see Erica is a top fan. I'm curious, who is Erica? They're obviously on here all the time, right? So that's the whole point. I'm trying to help you guys out here. And guess what? Guess how much that costs? You want to guess how much that costs? How much does it cost to get to be a top fan? 0. It's free 99. Free. That's all. The only thing it costs you is probably 10 seconds of your time. Maybe 20 if you really wanted to have a long comment in there. That's free. Some of you are out here spending money like crazy on Facebook ads, trying to reach all of these people, and guess what? Nothing's coming in. You're not getting any leads. But you reached 100 people. You reached 5,000 people. You're still not getting any leads. This is what you need to do. You got to show up, deliver, and engage with people and do the work. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. I just wanted to remind you, comment every time you show up here, even if it's the replay. It's so important. It's important for me so I can say hello to you and recognize that you took time out of your day to pay attention to me. But 2, it helps get you up there. Tammy's all, what's free? What did I miss? I love free. Tammy, you missed the free 99 deal. So if you want to become a top fan, my page now honors top fans thanks to Facebook. Now, I don't control that. You do. You control that by commenting and engaging just like you are right now. For those who are watching and not commenting, you can always do that on the replay, and you can always go back in time and do that on any of the posts. The more you engage with a business page, the more the business owner gets to know you, the more that other people in the audience get to know you, and that translates to what? Word of mouth marketing, which is still what? Number 1. And it costs how much? Free 99. That's $0. 0. Like 0.00. There's no money involved. So remember that. when you're out there trying to spend money on all these ads and everything, that you can still do some of the work on your own and save some money. So there's that. Anyway, that's part of random news. You can tell I get passionate about this stuff. I love it. One more thing before we jump into today's content, which is all about automation and why you can't automate everything. Really, you can, but you shouldn't, and that's what we're going to talk about. Let me ask you, what do you guys think about having a news feed? Get this. This might be coming. We'll see. What do you think about, instead of having a news feed where you scroll up or down, what if we had a news feed that we went sideways, just like on stories? Anybody know what stories is? So if you're on Facebook or on Instagram, stories flips. It just keeps going. So this little image here is going to show you, if I can play it again, it's going to show you that they're testing, it looks like, on Facebook, a swipeable feed. Of course it's loading. There we go. So instead of it going up and down, because apparently we're tired of doing this, they want it to just go sideways. So it's a swipe left or right, kind of like the dating apps, right? So this is going to be interesting. I got to tell you, I always think that Facebook is inside my head and that it's always spying on me because they know that I have a lot of great ideas for a social network. I'm just saying that I've pre-built. I'm just saying, and I feel like they have this line and they tap into it and they start pulling some features. Not saying that that's one of them. I'm just saying that it's very close to something that I have here and in other things. So anyway, so that's part of random news. Now, automation. How many of you guys, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you have some sort of automation set up? And if you don't know what that is, feel free to ask and I can explain. But we'll just go with, you guys already know what automation is. How many of you have automation set up? Go ahead and let me know, even if you're watching the replay. I'm going to take some water. And then if you do have automation, what are you automating? Is it email? Is it phone calls? Is it lead captures? Is it any of that stuff? Facebook's stealing Ed's ideas. I'm telling you, Bernadette, they are. It's because I've been sitting on them for so long. But you guys, I will tell you, it is a lot of money to create your own app, number one, and it's a lot of work to do your own whole social network. So, you know, it's just a lot. So I'm good with this for right now. Part of my mail list has an automation sequence. Excellent. That's a great example, Bernadette. So I'll share that with you guys too. So I use MailChimp, which you can have a free account on MailChimp. They have paid accounts too. And part of the free account now, if you didn't know this, they actually allow automation. Before they didn't, and I forget when they changed that recently. I mean, it's still pretty recent. But automation is now included in the free plan as well. So keep in mind on that. Erica says, I have an email funnel that's automated after people opt in to my free story meditation previews. Perfect. Tammy says, part of my funnel is automated. Awesome. So you guys have something going on and you know about that. So it's perfect. Now, when we take that automation, let me back up. Why do we want to automate things like our systems, our funnels, and our email stuff? Like, what's the point? Why do we want to have automation? Why aren't we just sitting there doing it one by one? What does it do for us as a business owner when we have automation set up? What is it saving us? What's it helping us do? That's right. It's helping us save time. It's helping us move forward in our business and not have to sit there and wait for, say, Tammy to fill out my form for me to then send an email to her, right? Because I could be waiting all day. I don't know when she's going to fill out that form. So we have automation there to help us save time and to help us keep things moving forward and be on when we're off, right? Save us time, yep. We don't forget to do it. Exactly, don't forget to do it because that's a big one. Bernadette says immediate follow-up. Yes, that's a big one. Immediate follow-up. How many of us, and you can even let me know on the replay, but how many of us appreciate when somebody gets back to us right away? Yeah, I'm all about that life. And those of you who have worked with me know that. I mean, even if you haven't worked with me, you probably know just how quick I am at things. And that's a lot of people I don't think are ready for that. They're like, whoa, 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 I didn't know it was already going to be done. Like, really? I thought it was going to take a couple weeks. No, I just needed a day. We're good. Here you go. Like, that's just how it works. And so having that immediate follow-up is always key, especially if it's just to say, thank you, I received XYZ. Yes, I am working on finding out that answer for you. I don't have any updates yet. I will be in touch with you as soon as I know something. Every little bit helps, and it makes us really feel good as the customer. And it feels good as the business owner to keep up with our customers too. So keep that in mind. So automation is great, and it definitely has its place. Then there's automation that we shouldn't be doing. And can you guess what that is? Even if you're watching the replay, can you guess when automation probably isn't a good idea? There's not really any right or wrong answers. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's wrong. No. It just, whatever comes to mind. When is automation probably not a good idea? And I'm going to show you an example and tell you what happened this week. Some of you might know because I talked about this inside the Hey Ed network, but it's important for us to know this and to see this. And sometimes we don't necessarily see it a lot here on Facebook because the system's a little bit different. They're still here, but it's different than other places, which we'll talk about. Tammy, great response. Customer complaints. Yeah, we don't want to automate customer complaints because if somebody is providing feedback, right? We always look at feedback as strengths and opportunities. We have to take that in account, and we actually have to pay attention to that, and we have to acknowledge that. And we really can't do that in an automated response, because if we do, chances are the customer is going to get real frustrated. And I'll tell you right now, I've seen a lot of different posts going around regarding the bots here on Facebook, in terms of not just Facebook, but chat bots, the automated responses. And some people are really frustrated because they're overwhelming and it's just impersonal. So we have to be really careful when we introduce these automations, and we have to try to get as precise and just to the point and really make sure we know when to automate and when not to automate. Tammy also says first contact. Huge. Yeah, you don't want to automate the first contact. You want to be here with them. Erica says automating responses to comments to your post equals bad. Yeah, it's one of those things that you really want to make sure you take the time to engage with your people. Like I said, the magic happens in the comments, and you want to be able to take the time to read through your comments, to go through and actually understand what the customer is saying in your comments, in your emails, in your texts, whatever way you're communicating with people. You want to take that time to understand it versus just sending a response. So here's what happened, and this happens a lot on Instagram. For those who don't know, this happens a lot on Instagram. Facebook has it sometimes too, but mostly on Instagram. This is where it took place for this example. But Instagram has a lot of automated bots, fake accounts that are set up that have a trigger, which means when a certain hashtag or a certain word or whatever is posted, automatically they respond to it. And it's always, for the most part, you've probably seen some of these where it says, cool page, check out my profile, click the link in my profile to get XYZ, or love your photo, click the link in my bio to learn how we can grow your account. Like all these really, no offense, but trashy, spammy words that you're just like, okay, well, whatever. Now, here is what happened to me. And this was, I gotta say, this was I don't know if I want to use the word clever because it wasn't clever, but it was different than the other ones. So let me show you. So on my business account on Instagram with a business post, I wasn't even in the first photo there. It was all about business, and the comment or the caption even talked about me going to present to business owners about Instagram. This comment showed up. Hey, love your post, with 2 periods. Okay, well, should have been 1, but that's okay. Or 3, because they're continuing the sentence, right? And I'm not the grammar police, as some of us already know, but I can pick up on certain things like that. Have you ever thought of starting your own business? Have I ever thought of starting my own business? I don't know. That's a great question. You guys tell me, have I ever thought of starting my own business? Really? So, can you see when the automation can fail big time? I mean, it gave me a great laugh. Hopefully, it gives you a good laugh today, too. But that is where it's one of those moments where, one, for me, it's like, really? That's just bad. And then I switch my hat over, I turn over, and I'm in the business mode, and I'm like, I feel bad for that account. Because whoever that account really is, which, I mean, they had a nice picture, and she looked like she had probably a good business going on. I don't know. Because I didn't click the link in the bio because I didn't want to waste my time. But to me, I'm like, wow, that's bad. Because everyone who looks at that post on my page can read the comments, and they're going to look at that and say, what? He has a business. You're on his business page. You just commented on his business post. Like, clearly he has a business. So then it makes that person look bad and just, it like they didn't pay attention, right? And you don't want that. Nobody wants that. So really understand that automation can be amazing and it works in certain parts of the business, especially when it comes to certain admin tasks like we talked about with email sequences and things like that. But then when it comes to social media, it's not that thing to do. It's not great because you actually have to be social. You need to respond. Now, you could have, if you wanted to be real tech savvy, you could have certain responses already made up and saved on your phone so that you can copy and paste them or have them auto type. Like there's a whole thing on that, which we can cover in another live, but there's ways to go about that. But still, that's you taking the time to look at the post and comment, just like you're doing now, even if you're watching the replay. And you have to really do the work versus having a system that you say, okay, when somebody uses hashtag entrepreneur life, comment this. Have you ever thought of opening up your own business? That's a loaded question that's going to probably be false on every single account that shows up on. And now you look ridiculous. So do not do that. Tammy says, total disconnect with their customers. Who is clicking on those? Why does that work? Just like the calls you get that say, don't hang up on the phone. Yeah, laughing, who is not hanging up on the phone? Exactly. So understand that automation is great, and sometimes we can get right into it and we're like, yes, automate everything. I don't have to be anywhere in my business. I can schedule all my posts and I can schedule this and that, and I can go hang out at the beach and pop champagne and whatever else Instagram tells us that business owners do when we really don't most of the time, if not all the time. So we get caught up in that. And then when things like this happen, we're like, oh, ooh, okay. It's not a good look. And who knows? They might not know necessarily that's a problem, right? Which is why it's a good teachable moment. And I wanted to share that with you guys. So really make sure that when you are setting up systems to help you and your business, really think them through, pen and paper, and don't automate your relationships. You got to show up, you got to deliver, and you got to engage, just like you're doing here. So I appreciate your time. I hope that this was helpful. If you're watching the replay, be sure to jump into those comments and say hello. I will follow up with all of you guys afterwards. If you need anything, head over to the website, edtroxelcreative.com, and I will be sending out my newsletter on Friday. So if you're on the list, awesome. If you're not, you better get on there so you get more business tips. And I will talk to you guys later. Take care.